Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cooper Roulette, the most nerve-wracking free class that we teach. Why is it nerve-wracking? Because we're supposed to know our shit, Casey and I, considering we're the instructors at Study Notes. And if we don't, and believe it or not, we're human and we don't know everything in the book. Not to mention, this third edition book has a lot of new shit in it. So we are doing something. I mean, the real reason we call it Cooper Roulette is because we turn to a page, we don't know what page, and we ask each other questions about it. Now, if you do not know the answer, the point of this game is that you look it up in your book, because there's going to be things that we don't know. And this is a great activity if you ever want to, study with someone else and, just go over random shit. And what it actually does is it causes you to read more in depth on certain sections because someone calls something to your attention that you would not usually call to your attention. So let's get into our Cooper Roulette. And actually today, so the most bougie thing I've done is bought a second edition of my Cooper book to have one located in my office and one at my house. So this edition of my Cooper book has 0 tabs in it. So I literally do not know what topic we're going to turn to. However, don't worry. Guess what came in the mail yesterday?
The Cooper tabs.
Our tabs, which are pre-labeled and
for the third edition.
For the third edition. So this will be going in soon. I need to make an instruction video how to do it.
There's going to be a QR code on the back that will link to the video of Liat doing it. So you can follow.
So our tabs are in. This is a big deal. They only slightly effed up like by not putting the part here, but they're sending us a sticker that it says what it is. Okay. So it just says Snapified, but it's supposed to say Snapified tabs, but all right. So I'm excited about that. And without further ado, Casey, I think we get started.
Let's do it. So I think what I'll do is, do you want me to start you?
Let's go, bitch. I want to make people like
rolling to see it. Then people will feel better. Okay.
We'll start with each other, okay?
Yep. Okay.
Okay, I got it first.
How'd you get so fast?
All right. What is a fixed time schedule?
It's a schedule of reinforcement that is not dependent on any specific behavior.
So can you give me an example?
Non-contingent reinforcement. So like independent of anyone's behavior, you can provide like attention if that's the function of the behavior, right? So time schedule just means not dependent on any behavior to occur. You just deliver reinforcement versus interval. Liat, what is interval? Right back at you.
So they both use time. An interval schedule of reinforcement would be, so let's say you're on a fixed time schedule of 5 minutes, meaning every 5 minutes I'm going to come and either like drop a candy in the room if that's what someone likes, no matter what they're doing, or I'm going to give attention, right? I don't care what behavior they're engaging in at that time. That's fixed time. Fixed interval schedule, it also requires time. So if I had a fixed interval schedule of 5 minutes, it means 5 minutes would need to pass. And I'm not just going to drop the candy in, but at that point you could request candy, please, and I'll give it to you. So a certain amount of time has to pass and a response. All right. Now you go.
Okay.
I'm so scared.
What am I going to ask? Okay. It opened to a summary page, which is kind of annoying, but that's fine. All right, this is a hard one, and we're actually teaching this tonight. So it's a verbal behavior chapter. All right, so we know Jack Michael came along and said, like, other than the verbal operants, there's 2 different ones, right? So he put them into
duplicate and codec?
Yes, but what are the 3 types of a duplicate relation? What are they?
I think I'm losing service. I think I'm losing service. No, okay.
State maintained behavior. You can post in the chat too. But don't look at the chat.
Duplicate, meaning like it's the exact same. So I know an echoic would be a duplicate. Like physical modeling, imitation.
Yeah, like sign, mimetic.
Yep, mimetic, that's what it is. Thank you. And copying text. I remember that from Jordan.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat got it right too.
Oh, good. You guys are answering. Okay, and then what about, oh, I know the codex. Those are my faves. That's transcription and textual.
Tell them your example for how you remember textual.
I always remember text. How do I remember like what its actual textual is that I always say, you know, like when you're on a dating app and some guy sends you like a really creepy message, like, hey, hey girl, you want to see a dick pic of me hard as hell, right? And you're like, right? You read that in the message and what do? I go right to Casey and I'm like, listen to this. Hey girl, want to see a dick pic? I'm hard as hell, right? You go for your friend's reaction. So I always call it a sextual instead of a textual because it's like when you get a sext from someone and it's creepy, you read that shit out loud to your friend. And that's exactly what it is. You get a text, there's writing, or it could also be a billboard that you read out loud to someone, right? Like the other day I was on the road and I'm like, enlarge your erection by 5 times, and I'm like, Eliron, enlarge your erection by 5 times, you know? And that is not the part, but it has to be the exact same, but I'm basically decoding it. That's why it's called a codec. Same thing, but different means of communicating it. One's writing, one's speaking. All right. Who else wants to answer on one of these out loud?
I wrote in the chat, if you want to volunteer, just let us know. Because if you get it wrong, we'll all look it up together and then you're never going to get it wrong again.
Okay. Imitation. There are 3 things you need for imitation. Actually 4, I think. 4. What are they?
All right. So, well, you have to have a model to begin with because you can't imitate nothing. A model, it must be same form, so formal similarity. It must occur immediately following the model. And controlled relation. So the model is what is controlling it, not anything else in the environment.
Okay, perfect. And what's the acronym?
Volunteers to get something wrong. I love that.
What is the acronym, Casey, for imitation?
F Mike, right?
Mick. Remember your ex?
Mick. Yeah. Well, his name's Mike, but yeah, Mick. F-M-I-C. Yeah.
Good.
I love this.
All right.
Well, I'll call this out. Okay. Let's see. All right, Anna, along the same line, because I love this when we teach it in class. So maybe if you were in class, you'd pay attention. True or false? Ready, Anna? You here?
Yeah, I'm here.
True or false? Okay. Imitation is only true imitation the very first time it occurs.
True.
Yes. Say it loud and say it proud.
It's
true. It's true. Because
would it be after that? Would it be? No, it wouldn't be modeling. What would it be after that?
So basically, it just has now come into contact with reinforcement, right? So it's now met contingency. So the very first time it's imitation, then it's just a behavior basically that's come into contact with reinforcement.
Okay.
So that now it's like operant. At that point, it becomes operant, right? Because it's like, at first, the first time you copy someone doing something, you're like, I don't know what it's like. Oh, I see someone playing this slot machine. Let me do what they're doing. They put their card in, right? They push the button. The first time you do it, it's imitation, right? Because we have a model, a controlled relation, the immediacy, and what was the other one?
Formal similarity.
Formal similarity, right? But now, once you've done that once and copied them, and now you're pushing the slot machine on your own. Now that's like an operant behavior because you come into contact with reinforcement or punishment of losing money, whatever it is. I don't know.
Good
All
job.
right. Great. Who is next? You?
Yep. Oh, all right. We're in shaping chapter. I love shaping. Oh, it's funny. I actually have a light bulb drawn on this thing because it must have given me a light bulb moment. So I will ask Elizabeth. This is a really hard one, so don't worry.
Pull over in your car. I see you driving. It's going to be really hard.
All right. It's something, and I think we also started teaching this too. So what is the difference between, like, there's two things that make these different. So shaping versus stimulus fading. Do you know what makes them different? This is really hard.
Wow, this is really hard.
Okay. Stimulus fading, there's like there's two types of it. The oh man.
You don't need to tell me the two types. I want you to tell me the difference between shaping and stimulus fading because people get them mixed up.
Okay, so shaping, you're going to accept approximations of the behavior, and then once they have reached that next approximation, then you're going to like add more to it, and then you would no longer like reinforce anything lower than that.
Beautiful.
Stimulus fading is when I'm just like going back to those two types, you know what I mean? So
Elizabeth, I'm also thinking of it in my head right now, so don't worry. Like I'm literally like trying to put it into words.
Okay, what did you say, Casey?
I said, should we phone a friend?
Oh, no. And then like that stimulus alone, like can be faded into like
right track.
No, you're actually, I think what I would say, I think you're going right.
Maybe like a redundant like stimulus prompt to it, and like that redundant prompt would get faded to where it's just the stimulus alone, so that then they could respond independently to it.
Yes. Wait, so what you're saying, and this is what I would say is the answer, tell me if I'm right. With shaping, the behavior itself is changing slightly, but with stimulus fading, the actual stimulus is changing. So for shaping, the stimulus stays the same. Mm-hmm. Am I getting this right? Because I think I'm trying to support what Elizabeth said. Am I right?
Well, I think I'm going to give an example. So basically with shaping, okay? Shaping, let's say we're shaping I want to shape up Liat's behavior of teaching like less dick jokes, whatever, okay? The antecedent stimulus, right, is going to stay the same, okay, in shaping, but the response requirements are changing, okay? Whereas stimulus fading, okay, the anti-stimulus, whatever stimulus that you're putting down there is fading. So the antecedent stimulus is changing, but the response stays the same, okay? Mm-hmm. So those are the two differences of those two. So
one has to do with the stimulus, one has to do with the response.
Yes, exactly.
Elizabeth, that was ballsy of you.
Sorry, that was a hard one.
I'm happy I could see your car's not moving. That was a hard one. Okay, I'm gonna do another one.
Okay, while we're talking about it, what are those two? It's like where it's like it's shaped like the word is shaped like the thing, and then it's just the word.
Transformation.
And then fading, right?
One stimulus shape transformation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then Casey had the page open. And the other one is...
I don't know why I'm blanking on that one. It's shape transformation and then just the stimulus fading. One is a shape and one is just fading out the like, when you write but
what's the actual words that we like write down in class?
It's stimulus fading and stimulus shape transformation.
Yeah, that was right. Okay. Whew.
Karen, thank you.
I just have the page open from.
Okay, good. It takes someone having it open. That's perfect. All right. Can I turn to another random page? You guys ready?
Yep.
You guys also could turn to a page next. I'm a little nervous, but. Oh.
Karen, do you want to volunteer for this one?
Sure.
Okay. She wrote it in the chat. I'm not just calling her
out. All right. We're on verbal behavior.
Again?
I won't be an asshole and go through all the new stuff of this 5th edition chapter, but okay, let's go over the basics. Let's say people who are not behavioral look at this part of language, whereas BCBAs and people who look at behavior are looking at this part of language. Like maybe like an SLP would look at what?
They would look at, I really should know this, my bachelor's in SLP. So they would look at more of the language portion and articulation and stuff like that. And then
exactly, which it starts with an F word.
Oh, formal.
Form, exactly. And what do we look at?
We would look at behavioral.
Behavioral, which is it looks at verbal behavior as, what do we look for in all behavior, not just verbal behavior?
Function.
Yes.
So functional. Perfect.
Function. All right. Now, for verbal behavior, you need 2 things. What are they?
Point-to-point correspondence and formal similarity.
When you're talking about the actual operants. But in order for it to be considered verbal behavior, the 2 primary things you need are?
Skinner says it. Me and Leah.
Oh, a listener and a responder.
Speaker and a
Speaker and a listener. Perfect. Exactly.
It's hard when you're put on the spot. It's like you go blank.
I know. I'm like, don't worry.
Y'all are making me nervous. I test on Saturday.
You got it. You knew it.
No, this is nerve-wracking, being called on the spot.
All right, Leanne, I'm going to call you on the spot now. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh my God, it's verbal behavior again. I'm switching this. No, new page. Okay. Yes, experimental design, my jam. I know Leah loves it. All right. Courtney session 4, we're sending you all the good vibes. All right. So I actually don't like teaching this part, but I'm going to ask you, what are the variations of the ABAB design? Like the reversal. What are the variations of the reversal? Shut up.
This.
It might help you if you know the
acronym. Isn't this one resting bitch face makes no dates?
Yes, but no face. Yes, because no F.
Yeah, but I don't remember. Okay, so R, like a regular reversal, right? Like ABAB.
Repeated reversal.
Repeated reversal, that's what it is, okay? Bitch. That would be BAB when you don't do the baseline first, you go straight into intervention.
Yep.
Then you go to baseline, then back to intervention. The next one, multiple treatment.
Yep. What does that look
like? That could be like A, B, A, C, B, A, right? But whichever ones you're going back to. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 are my worst. And I always let Casey teach them in the collective. That's why I know them, because I know that I don't know them well. And that is going to be NCR reversal, like with you use the non-contingent reinforcement, then you like reverse back to baseline, right?
Instead of just a regular baseline with nothing, you would revert to the NCR.
Yeah, okay. Oh, the NCR is your nothing, right?
Is your control.
Okay, and then you do the same thing with a DRI, DRA?
Or DRO.
Or DRO, okay. And that is the reversal of that, and that's your control.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And all these are is just testing the effects of contingent reinforcement.
Beautiful. Casey does this because she knows she looks so smart with, but I just got them, biatch. Next.
How do you?
Oh, next.
I'll let you teach that class.
All right, bitch. You want to play? Okay. I have no idea.
Anyone else want to volunteer? So I don't have to do it? All right, Brittany.
All right, Brittany. Stimulus prompts, okay? I'm on page 405 for anyone wondering. Stimulus prompts. What are the 3 types of stimulus prompts?
The stimulus prompts are going to be movement, positional, and the redundance cue.
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay, amazing. Of those 3 types of prompts that you said, or the 3 types of stimulus prompts, if I am trying to teach an individual to discriminate between a $1 bill and a $5 bill, and I am pointing to, tapping, or touching the $5 bill, I want them to, you know, touch. What type of stimulus prompt is that?
I want to say movement.
Good, you should say movement because that is correct. Perfect, amazing. All right. You want another one on this page? Do you, or you want like to, you ready? You're on mute, that's the problem.
Keep going, Bree.
I'm good, I'm down.
Yeah, all right, so you could take your money there. This is deal or no deal, or you could keep going, okay? Here we go. There is something, when we're trying to develop stimulus control, right? We obviously want a specific stimulus to evoke a specific response. There are 2 things that could interrupt developing stimulus control. What are these 2 things?
One is faulty stimulus, the faulty stimuli control. Or no, either that or it's going to be the I can give an example. I just can't think of the word right now. Where
okay, I'll give you one of them. Okay, masking.
That's what I was thinking, and the other one is overshadowing.
Perfect. All right, which one of these?
Still going.
Yeah, honey, I'm not done with you, Brittany. Okay, so the answer to this question I'm about to ask you is either going to be masking or overshadowing. Okay, you're going to tell me which one it is.
Okay.
The most salient component of a compound stimulus arrangement controls responding and interferes with the acquisition of stimulus control by the more relevant stimulus.
Overshadowing.
Yep.
Beautiful, because overshadowing has to do with acquisition or the learning process, whereas masking, something someone already knows, right? And they can't really respond because there's something competing in the environment.
Like it's something you know, like if I ask Leah like 2 + 2, like you know that. But if you are looking at Instagram, that's a stimulus competing in the environment and you're like, huh? Right? That's masking. Hashtag knower, not a shower.
All right, Casey, I have one for you now.
Okay, my palms are sweaty.
True or false?
Okay.
Applied behavior analysts should provide response and stimulus prompts as supplementary antecedent stimuli during the acquisition and maintenance phase of instruction.
True or false? False, because you said maintenance. That's the wrong word, right? Just the acquisition. During maintenance, you don't want to provide prompts. They should already have the skill in their repertoire. But you might have to go back to acquisition. When you check for maintenance, they don't have it in their repertoire anymore, right?
Yep. And so that's when you transfer stimulus control. It's exactly right. So we want to get rid of those supplementary antecedent stimuli and transfer stimulus control from the response and stimulus prompts to
naturally existing or occurring stimuli, like just natural.
This bitch reads her book. Naturally existing stimulus. Okay.
La la. Good job, Stacey. Bye, Brittany. All right. Want to do like 2 more?
Your turn.
Anyone want to volunteer?
Anyone want to open their book to a page and make Casey look silly?
No, I don't want to do that. All right. This is a hard one. Am I asking this right? I'm asking. Oh, Courtney. Okay. All right, Courtney. I don't know. I don't know why I like to ask all these hard questions, but it's whatever. There are 3 things we talk about that using an alternating treatment design minimizes. Does anyone know what those are? Her mic said it won't work. So if anyone else wants to volunteer, if not, Liat has to do it. Karen does.
Okay. You said multiple baseline?
I know, alternating treatments.
Alternating treatment. Okay, sorry. Irreversibility, unstable data, right? And
unstable data.
And then sequence effects.
Yeah, beautiful.
So when you say irreversibility, are you saying that is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Yes.
Good. Great.
You don't have to use it with a behavior that can't be reversed, right? Like,
right.
Which design is that an issue for?
What? I'm sorry?
Which design is like, you can't use it, like with a behavior that can't be reversed?
Changing criterion.
Try again.
Multiple baseline.
One more.
Okay, what's next?
It's the reversal withdrawal, right? Because if you're gonna take a treatment away that you've already taught, like teaching someone to ride a bike, right?
Yeah.
Go back to baseline, they're gonna still know how to ride the bike.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood the question.
Yeah, I don't think I phrased it very well, but you knew it. Yes. All right. We got to do one more.
This is my last one. I hope it's a good one. My favorite.
Stimulus generalization?
Stimulus equivalence.
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding. MOs. Okay. All right. I'll make an easy one to start. A motivating operation has 2 effects. What are the effects of motivating operation?
Yeah, Anna, try it.
Okay, hold on. Say the question one more time. What were the effects of a motivating operation? Would that be like the establishing and the abolishing?
Those would be a part of one of the effects, right? It does 2 things. It affects 2 things. It affects the and the ooh.
It's
the ooh.
One is the behavior.
The behavior altering effect. Beautiful.
And that's the hashtag for that is that the do I give a fuck? And then the other one is the
so that one's not the do I give a fuck. That is the one that's like, am I gonna do something to get it?
Yeah,
right? If it's a behavior altering effect, it's going to evoke, meaning I'm going to do something to get it, or abate. I'm not going to do anything to get it. I really don't care. Okay, but what's the other? So you said there's a behavior altering effect, and what's the other effect?
Like the value of the reinforcer. Like, do I want it? If I don't want it, I'm not going to do that behavior because I don't care.
Perfect. So that's the value altering effect. Do I give a shit about the reinforcer or punisher being offered? I don't know. Well, if I do give a shit, it's going to be considered what?
Evocative or
we're talking about it. It's talking about the value. We said evocative goes with behavior.
Okay.
If we're talking about the value altering effect, we're talking about it's either doing blank or blank to the value. I'll give you a clue of one of them. It's either abolishing the value of something, like I really don't care about that. I didn't give a shit about it anyways. Or, so abolishing is one of them. What's the other one? If I do care about the value.
Establishing?
Yes.
Okay.
So to clarify that, we have MOs have a value altering effect and a behavior altering effect. Value altering effects are either establishing or abolishing the consequence as valuable, right? Now, if we have deemed that the consequence I'm offering, so if I say, if you do your homework, I will let you play on the iPad after school, and you love the iPad, so that's an establishing operation. Do you think you are going to do your homework to get that iPad?
Yes.
Yes. So what is it? What is the behavior altering effect there?
We're like increasing the homework, doing the homework behavior.
Yep. And what do we call that? What are the two behavior altering effects we just said are?
Establishing and then, oh my goodness. Evocative.
Or abative.
Or abative. Okay.
So if you're going to do the homework, it is what?
Evocative.
Good. So just to put that clear, if you really, really love your iPad and you haven't got to play with it in so long, right? That's deprivation of your iPad, and your mom says, you know what? If you do all your homework today, I'm going to let you play on the iPad. The fact that you haven't played on the iPad so long and you're like really good at whatever game you play on it, it's going to be valuable. So it's an establishing operation. It's establishing that reinforcer as valuable, right? We've established like, yeah, I care about it. Now that we know I care about it, let's look at what behavior I'm going to do to get it, right? If the behavior was do your homework, I'm going to do my homework, right? If the behavior was, hey, put away your laundry, it would evoke that too. If I cared enough about, which I do, because we said it's an establishing operation, about the reinforcer being offered. All right, let's close out with one for Casey. This one's for you, honey.
Okay.
Let's close out. Please close out on getting something right. Okay, Casey, this is for you, honey.
All the cards
on the line, okay? SDs and MOs have what in common?
Well, they both are in the A in the 4-term contingency.
They both are antecedents, that's right.
And they both affect the current frequency of behavior.
Yes, they both affect the current frequency of behavior, right? The behavior altering effect.
Not future. They only affect the current frequency of the behavior.
What affects the future, Casey?
Reinforcement and punishment, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consequences.
Okay.
All right, guys, because we know the MOs and the SDs are before.
Yes.
So that wraps up our Cooper Roulette. I want to tell you guys that I recommend you do this with a friend because you will read something more and more. We do this regularly. And as soon as these tabs are up on the website, which probably whenever this YouTube video comes out, they'll be up on the website. If you know you need to review certain topics, you could just like turn to that tabbed area, right? Because it's going to be pre-tabbed what the chapter is. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for coming.
Love you, mean it.
Love you.